Just looking at this gives me a whole ass. Oh my god, I'm nutting to this. Reapers, what is good? It's your boy Laser. Here's a rise with another reaction video. He's on reaction content. So I continue to laugh as right now. 5 mind-blowing mysteries of the human brain. Guys, the human brain is so complex and interesting. We're gonna dive straight. Enjoy reaction content. You react if you use the feature, hit the like button. You subscribe to the notification bell icon. I also stream every night on Twitch. Go check out streams, fucking amazing. Let's dive straight in this video. Number 5.
The brain is an incredibly complex organ in the human body. It contains around 100 billion nerve cells, with each one making contact with other nerve cells to form millions of neural connections every second. Now, even though every brain is slightly different, there are things they all have in common. The fact there are an array of unsolved mysteries surrounding them. So here we have 5 that are sure to get you thinking. Phantom limbs. Millions of people a year are born with missing limbs or have to have limbs amputated, and if that's not bad enough, there is a strange experience almost 90% of them will have. It's called phantom limbs, and it's basically the sensation of a limb being there when it's not. It's been confusing experts for years, and even though we are discovering new ways to deal with the problem and are somewhat understanding why it happens, there is no definitive reason behind why the person's brain thinks there is a limb there when there isn't. The condition can vary from itching, tenseness, a nagging feeling, and even painful
It's crazy how complex our brain is, bro. I know when like brain damage occurs, sometimes I wonder if I suffered it from all the shit I've been through, but it's crazy how like the brain, like it's called plasticity. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's like when the brain literally changes like neural pathways and shit to like heal like different fucking parts of the brain that are fucked, if that made sense.
Shocks through the non-existent limb. Unfortunately, many who have phantom limb will suffer with it for the rest of their life, and no painkiller or drug will touch it because there is nothing there to treat.
Wait, a road burn sensation? Oh fuck that. A hammer smashing the big toe? Ah! A feeling the hand is being crushed and oppressed. Oh my head! 5 toes are being stretched, the bones of the night. What the fuck, bro?
It was first thought that it was caused by some sort of response, where the brain is in denial about the fact there is no limb there, so it will try to give the simulation that it is. But after patients underwent psychotherapy, it was later suggested that this was not the case. Dr. V.S. Ramachandran is a neurologist, and after doing some tests, he believes the part of the
It's crazy how fucking complex the brain is, bro.
brain that receives and interprets sensory signals from different parts of the body is responsible for the feeling. He thinks that phantom limbs arise when the neurons that previously received signals from the amputated limb begin to overlap with the neurons responsible for other parts of the body. During one test, Dr. Ramachandran had a patient who had the feeling that his phantom arm and hand were clenched tightly. So he designed a cardboard box with 2 armholes and a mirror in between. Looking at the intact arm and its reflection in the mirror creates the illusion that the patient has 2 fully functional arms. The patient clenched and released his intact fist while looking into the mirror box,
What kind of jigsaw
and
trap is that,
amazingly,
bro?
the phantom pain subsided instantly, leaving Ramachandran to believe that the mirror box creates a major neurological conflict between visual
What kind of jigsaw shit is that?
and tactile sensory input. This then leads the brain to become overwhelmed by conflicting signals, ultimately eliminating the phantom limb. But although Dr. Ramachandran's theory is probably the most current, many believe that his theory is incorrect. And despite its success with many patients, it's not always successful, and doesn't explain why people who are born limbless have the phantom feeling, because surely their brain shouldn't know any different. This leaves the phantom syndrome yet to be solved, and forever reminding us of the complexity of the human brain and its senses.
Ooh. Interesting. Now the brain
Our brain's ability to remember and store memories. The fact our brains can record...
Crazy how like deja vu occurs too. Like that has to do with memories, like false memories. Like basically, like when I already discussed this on my streams, when you get that feeling of that you experienced this exact situation event before somewhere else, those are the most deja vu is such a good feeling. It's scary, but it's such a good feeling. I don't know why I love deja vu. I think deja vu is fun as shit. It's a fun emotion. Would you consider it an emotion? Kinda. It's a fun like feeling, like just like the idea like you felt you experienced this exact moment before. It's kind of cool.
and store memories is not only incredibly complex, but also one of its biggest mysteries. Even now, we have no idea how our brains do this, nor do we know how this information gets stored in the brain ready to just be thought of at any given time. What we do know though is that there is more than one kind of memory. Declarative memories, this is responsible for remembering things such as names. Non-declarative, known as muscle memory, short-term and long-term memory. Plus there are lots of other parts that are responsible for performing different memory tasks. Put it simply, it's very complex, so you can see why we haven't figured it out yet. Neuroscientists do believe though that our brain's storage is a relationship between two or more things. If you're driving a car, how to steer comes from one set of brain cells and how to identify road signals comes from another. Your memory is really made up of a group of systems that each play different roles in creating, storing and recalling your memories, and they all work together to provide cohesive thought. We do know that the electrical firing of a pulse across the gap triggers the release of chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. These neurons are primed to fire together in the same pattern that created the original experience. And the more signals sent between them, the stronger the connection grows, meaning with each new experience, your brain slightly rewires its physical structure, getting more intelligent and able to remember more clearly and quickly.
You remember the last time I fucked your mama?
That said, scientists still aren't sure how memories form, why certain memories degrade and fade, why we develop false memories, and why we sometimes cannot access information at all when we want to. So even though research continues to give us increasing insights into what memory is, much of it still remains a mystery. Dreams. Dreaming is incredible. It's basically stories and images that our minds create while we sleep. Now, around 9...
I want a lucid dream so bad, bro. I've never had a lucid dream in my life. Like, you know, dreams where, like, you could, like, fly and shit. Like, you know you're dreaming and you can just do crazy-ass real shit. Jealous as fuck, you know what I'm saying?
95% of the dream we remember when waking up is forgotten by the time we get out of bed.
Like, that's another thing. Like, you'd be having the most intense dreams, and then, like, the next moment later, you just wake up, and then you just feel like your brain was literally being attacked while you were asleep. Like, I can't explain. Fuck myself.
How incredible dreaming really is and why we do it. But the truth is that we're not entirely sure why or how we dream. And although people may not remember dreaming at all, it's thought that everyone dreams between 3 to 6 times per night. What's fascinating is how realistic dreams feel. Like said in the movie Inception, it's only after we've woken up we realize something was actually strange.
I think there's actually a study, like, you know, obviously has to do with, like, your diet before you go to sleep. Like, I know if you drink, like, apparently apple juice causes, like, vivid dreams. Anything like sugar before you go to sleep causes, like, vivid-ass dreams. That's what these fuckers are saying, apparently.
And it's true. If we were forever to dream, we really wouldn't know any different. Unless, of course, you are lucid dreaming, but that's a topic for a whole nother video. So why do we dream and how do we dream? Well, there are a few theories. Probably the most believed today is psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud's theory that dreams are a representation of unconscious desires, thoughts, and motivations. He put forward that we humans are driven by sexual and aggressive instincts that are repressed from conscious awareness, so they find their way into our awareness through dreams.
He's having a whole orgy with the dream. He's having a whole orgy with the dream world. Are these, like, what are they called? Fucking tapestries, or however the fuck you pronounce it? Tapestries, right? It's like the, you know, the big things. I have them in my room. They're cool as shit.
He believes our dreams are made up of 2 components. Doggy! One made from actual images, thoughts, and content, and the other containing the hidden psychological meaning of the dream.
Source, trust me,
This
bro.
theory is supported by popular books that we all know, that link dreams to meanings. Another theory is that sleep allows us to process all of the information we have taken in during the day, or that by dreaming we are cleaning up clutter from the mind and refreshing it for the next day. Another interesting theory is that dreaming is a way of making connections between different thoughts, emotions, and actions in a safe environment. So there's some theories on why we may dream, but that doesn't explain how we dream.
You ever had a wet dream?
We know that things we see from day to day do influence our dreams, because people who are born blind do not dream with visual images, but have heightened smell, taste, hearing, and feel in their dreams. But despite this, why or how we dream is still a mystery. But maybe this next one could hold the answer.
Hold on, I'm actually very curious. I've never looked that up. I'm Googling this right now. How do blind people actually dream? Yeah. Their dreams are different from those sight. Let's ask a blind person what they see, you know? I'm sure they can give us an answer to that. People always like, what do blind people actually see? Like, I'm not talking about legally blind. Like, I'm talking just straight up blind. Well, look, this is someone told me like, cover your hand, like, to your right eye. What do you see? You see absolutely nothing. So I'm assuming like, if you cover, like, they just see nothing. Like, what did I just do, bro? They don't see, like, they don't even see black. Like, they just see nothing. I can't explain it.
DMT and its effects on the brain. DMT, or N,N-dimethyltryptamine, is a very interesting compound. Now, although most of you may not have heard of it before, research suggests that all of us have most likely felt its effects. It's believed to be found in the human body and also in at least 60 species of plants. In a 2011 interview, medical doctor Rick Strassman said that DMT seems to be a necessary component of normal brain function. One of many theories on why DMT may be present in humans is the thought that in times of extreme stress, such as a near-death experience, the body will release a burst of the drug. It's believed to be the human's way of making us feel comfort in a very bad situation. DMT is also thought to have some involvement in our rapid eye movement or REM sleep process, and some researchers say it could well be responsible for our dreams. It's thought during sleep our brains release a small amount of DMT, causing us to have visual and audible hallucinations that we call dreams. Of course, this is only a theory and has not been proven due to the lack of research and complexity of such an experiment. What makes this drug different though is not only the fact it's believed to be produced by humans and some animals, but the incredible similarities people have while self-medicating themselves with it. Rick Strassman conducted clinical studies of DMT inside the human body during the 1990s and hypothesized that it originated inside the brain, coming from a small gland about the size of a grain of rice called the pineal gland, also called the third eye by some. Now, although we know of this gland, we do not...
To all my spiritual beings, we're having a whole fucking celebration right now. Third eye.
...fully understand it. Terence McKenna, who was among other things a philosopher, lecturer and author, smoked DMT from 1967 to 1994.
Stick to weed, kids.
And compiled probably the best
Shouldn't be
documentation
doing weed,
of
but
its
just
effects.
stick to weed.
He said that after a few
weed.
minutes of taking it, you enter what others call the dome. It's filled with strange machines and is throbbing with energy. What's strange is that this place, from McKenna's account, was inhabited by machine beings that always cheered him on his arrival.
Oh, this is such a cool fucking this would be such a cool poster to have in your room. Oh my god. Just looking at this gives me a whole ass... Oh my god, I'm nutting to this.
He said they would say, "Hooray, welcome, you're here." He would spend time there, then everything would collapse on itself and he and the beings would be pulled apart. They would wave goodbye, and one time he reported them all looking and saying, "Deja vu, deja vu." McKenna said that unlike other drugs, the DMT trips felt so real, like he was really there with those beings, but he has no clue what they were, saying that maybe they were entities in a parallel continuum, with DMT sending you over to their dimension. One story in particular is that a few friends all tried DMT together. When they came down from their experience, they all reported that they were sat on an operating table with alien beings looking over them, and all of them saw an alien being, what they thought was the leader, looking at them from the corner.
That's just me, guys. I'm a little alien. I'm not from here. Look at all these cute aliens. Look at them. They're so cute.
Of the room. What's crazy is that they all describe this being exactly the same. It seems everyone who has taken DMT is confident they are transported into an alien-like world, and there seems so much mystery surrounding it and its effects on the brain. It's believed to be produced in the brain, yet our minds are unable to comprehend it. So whether it's just another drug, or whether it's a way of taking us to another world, no one can be sure. Again, I am in no way condoning the use of DMT. It is, after all, one of the most illegal substances known to man and should not be experimented with in any way.
People tell me, what's it called? Salvia is like the worst, but it only lasts like 5 minutes. I've seen people tell me like salvia literally makes you. Is that how you pronounce it? Salvia. I used to pronounce it like saliva. Is that how you pronounce it? Salvia. It's like people tell me salvia is like the most intense like DMT, but salvia is like the most intense psychedelic out there. Apparently, that's what people tell me. I've never done psychedelics in my life. I've only done weed. That's it. I'm sober now, and I plan on staying that way for the rest of my life. I don't fuck with drugs or alcohol. And you can call me a boring person all you want. Just because I don't do alcohol and weed, like the mass, doesn't make me a fucking boring person. And you can't say if I'm boring if I've already at least tried it. At least, yeah, like I recommend everyone at least, like, you know, I'm not saying you should, but, like, you know, just try it, you know. I don't want to cause y'all to get addictions and shit, but it's like, not alcohol. I think alcohol's dog shit. Don't do alcohol. Even though most people do it nowadays, don't do alcohol. I think weed is something else.
I'm only including it because the mysteries surrounding it are very interesting and fit well with the mysteries of the brain and dreaming. Reality. Prepare to get your mind blown because reality is hard to condense in words. But from scientists to philosophers, everyone has asked the question of what is reality. And the more we think about any sort of answer, the harder it becomes to comprehend. When trying to find out what reality is, scientists have been looking at the relationship between conscious and subconscious reality. Why do we breathe and blink subconsciously, yet other things we have to do consciously? And some studies have shown that maybe we don't even make any of our own decisions.
Wait, brain scan reveal your decisions 7 seconds. Wait. Are made seconds. Wait, what? I'm so confused.
That everything is mapped out for us. A study found that using brain scanners, researchers could predict how a person was going to act 7 seconds before the person knew that a decision had been made, suggesting that maybe consciousness is an illusion. There is a thought that if someone was wired up to electrodes that stimulated a part of the brain to mimic the impulses of their everyday life, they would see what was going on, but would that technically be real? Their brain wouldn't know any different, and it would seem like it was happening even if it wasn't. Now, with that, there are a few theories on what reality and consciousness is. The first is phenomenalism, which is based on subjective experience, meaning that whatever you observe is real to you. One thought is that things we cannot see simply vanish. Phenomenalists believe that things only exist once they are perceived. So the device you're watching this on and whatever you're sat on only exists as long as you or someone else is aware of its existence. No perception, no existence. It sounds crazy, but no matter what you say, there doesn't seem to be any way to prove whether this is right or wrong. Another popular theory is solipsism, which asserts that nothing exists but the individual's consciousness, that everything around you is nothing but an incredibly intricate dream. People who...
No, I always said, like, kind of related, kind of not related. Everything we... It's crazy to think that everything you perceive around you, that you call life, what you visually see, and, like, here, like, it's crazy to think that we're just a brain, and, like, we're literally just a brain. We're literally just a brain in a body with a bunch of flesh and bones surrounded by us. We're literally just a brain. Like, we're not even, like, an actual, like, whole body. We're just, you know, that makes sense, right? Like, we're literally just a brain. Like, without a brain, we're nothing. So, like, we're literally just living brains, pretty much, if that makes sense. That are surrounded by a body, like, in flesh. I don't fucking know, but I'm not done now. But, like, it's crazy to think that, like, this all just comes from our brain. Like, everything we visually see and hear, it just comes from our fucking brain, bro. You know? Interesting.
Who believe in solipsism say, how can you distinguish the difference between a dream and what we call life? So, what is reality? Well, maybe reality is whatever we want it to be. And since our thoughts and intelligence is limited to our brain's capability to think, some say we will never be able to figure out reality because reality is far too complex for us to understand. I guess all we can do is wonder and enjoy
that
life.
booty thick.
So that's 5 mysteries of the brain.
Well, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Which one of those mysteries was the most interesting to you? Enjoy reaction content. You want more reaction videos like this in the future? You know what to do. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.